This is a dog trimmer specifically for, like the small areas around their paws, ears, etc. And I have used it now on my little one, and it does a pretty decent job. I'm not going to say it's outrageously good, but there's some really nice things about it. It is definitely, a good weight. It's not like real lightweight. It's not heavy, but it's a good weight. The width of this shearing part is actually decent. I tested this against one that I was using, and the one I was using was a little narrower, not quite as wide as this one. So I just really did a fine job as far as that's concerned. My major concern about it was this plastic piece on top. I don't know how hard it is, how well made it is, but that was my only concern looking at it. It was like, I hope it lasts. We'll see. A couple other things. It's, not a super quiet device, but it is pretty quiet. And the other thing I really like is the light. And I'm going to go ahead and turn this on, and you can see the light. And it actually does help. It's in a, it's positioned in a good spot. And it really did help illuminate the area. Now, I'm going to hold this a little closer to the mic because my mic has pretty good noise cancellation, and I'm not sure you can actually hear it, but there you go. That's probably going to get recorded. Now I'm really close to the microphone I'm wearing. So the other thing is it comes with the LED display showing you, where you're standing with as far as battery is concerned. It charged pretty quickly when it came out of the package. It had no charge whatsoever, which is kind of unusual for these days. Almost everything I get that is battery driven, usually arrives with some charge, if not like pretty close to full charge. But this was completely empty, but it didn't take long to charge it. And it does a fine job. Love the light. Not a real loud noise, not real heavy, but heavy enough to, know you're there. It comes with a little cleaning brush, which I see here some hair that, oh good, that does work, that it got off there. And now I have hair there. But the other thing it comes with is a charging cable. It's a USB-C to USB-A cable. And they do specify in the instructions that it needs to be a 5-volt, 1-amp power adapter that you plug it into. Don't be plugging it into some high-powered thing. Now, another thing that came was not listed in the instructions was this comb. And, I look at that and I think, I can think of one use for that comb, and it's not, hopefully, for any of my dogs. But it's just so tightly spaced that that would be really rough to get through pretty much anything. But anyway, it came with that, which was not in the instructions in this bag, which is a pretty nice, generous size bag. But now for the really bad news. Oh my, I'm a stickler for instructions. And this has to be some of the worst instructions I have ever seen in my entire life. And it's not just that it's tiny, because it is. I mean, look at this. I mean, here's a heading, here is a subheading, and this is the text. And it is so tiny. I literally had to read the whole thing under my magnifying glass. And the weird thing is that they go from one size to another size, and it just gets smaller and smaller to the point where you're like, huh? And it's just horrible. the writing, the words, they are English words, but they make no sense. So, I just, I think it's deplorable. If this is a company that you want to trust to make a good product, then they should be able to make a good instruction manual. And this is ridiculous. Also, it notes in here that it comes with a cleaning brush and lube oil. I did not get any lube oil, but I had plenty of other, trimmer oil that I could use on, which I did use on it. And you definitely want to use that. Now, I don't want to linger on this too long, but I feel ashamed for these people that they couldn't, either make it a longer little piece of paper or wider and get better English translation done, because it's horrible. I mean, it has to be some of the worst I've ever seen. So now that I've dissed their instruction manual, you can get through it if you use the magnifying glass. It is a little bit of a head scratcher, and you just kind of have to, there's not a lot to this. The important thing to understand is that, yes, you want to use a 5-watt, 1-amp charge, power supply, whatever, to charge it with. And then you want to use the oil. You want to be careful. You want to, that light is really good. But, I will continue to use it. I think it's not a bad product. It's horrible instructions, but not a bad product. So, and this is just, completely beyond me. I have no idea. I wouldn't even attempt to put that through my dog's hair. She would be screaming at me. So, that's that.
These are my new clippers, and I have to say, I just absolutely love them. I've had a number of clippers for the paws, and they are all disappointing. And this one, I can't believe the cost of it was so low, and this is such an awesome set of clippers. I have a puppy here. So she is 4 months old, and this one is 2 years old, going on 2 years old. And I have to clip the paws. And you can see right here, these 2 paws haven't been clipped yet. They were initially clipped by the breeder. And then she will not sit still when I turn the clippers on. And I ended up getting one of her cuffs here where it shouldn't have been clipped. And it was really frustrating. And I ended up getting these, and these things are phenomenal. The vibration is really low, and the noise is really low, and so she'll sit there while I do her paws, which is unbelievable. I actually did his paws too. I can see his nails now, whereas I couldn't see them before. And then here's her paws all done. Here's the ones that I did. And she'll just lay here and go to sleep, and then I've been doing one paw every morning. Just, let her fall asleep on my lap, and then I trim the paw, and she just lays there while I trim the paw, and it does such a great job. Okay, so here's the bottom of the pad after I've cleaned it up, and here's the top. You can see right there. Look at what a good job that did. It's just so gentle, and it's not a high-powered clipper where you can just steam right through. You really have to take your time, but the vibration and the noise is so low that they can't tell. So see, look at that paw. That one's not done yet. I actually I did her private parts too. She has a puppy vagicitis, and you have to keep the hairs down there trimmed really small for cleanliness, and she just slept right through it. She didn't even flinch. But when I had the other clippers next to her, it was for sure a problem. So here's the clippers when I turn them on, and there's a little light there so you can see the paws. It does such a good job. And you do have to use the cord that it comes with. I try to plug it in with a different USB-C and it didn't work. You know, when you plug it in, the light comes on, it tells you how much it's charged. And it also comes with one of these little combs right here. These are great for the eyes. Like when you clean the eyes, you can pull the hair away and you can pull the gunk away. It's kind of like one of those flea combs. That's how closely knit it is. So they do a great job on the eyes. I also used it to trim the white one's hiney, and he didn't even flinch. He just stood there. Seriously, the vibration is so low that they can barely even feel it. Yeah, it's awesome. I would highly recommend this. And I probably have 10 sets of clippers, and this is the one I like the best.
What's going on, Amazon? I'm going to take a look at these little paw clippers real quick. These are pretty nice for what they are, guys. This kind of feels like silky, satiny kind of plastic. Nice feel in the hand. And one button, simple operation, really tiny footprint here, as you can see. No pun intended. And they're quiet. And they have an LED that points where you need to see, which is fantastic. And they came about 75% charged. I plugged them in, USB-C, and it was a pretty quick charge. I left them there for about a half an hour. When I came back, it was already done. So these charge up pretty quick, and even with playing with them, it seems the battery is really decent. I tried this out on some of my own hair, some of my facial hair, and it cuts beard hair and mustache hair no problem. So this is not going to have any sort of struggles whatsoever with the hair on the bottom of paw pads. So this is, yeah, 2 thumbs up, 5 stars. I recommend it. I even like the texture on the back here to give you a better grip. And I like the soft touch material that this is made out of. It's going to be hard to come across on video, but really it has like a satiny kind of feel to it. And I like it a lot. So yeah, it comes with this charging cord, a little brush, and a hair comb, and a little baggie to keep everything in, a little drawstring bag to keep everything in. Yeah, this is definitely recommended. This is a great value as far as I'm concerned. It works great, charges great, feels good in the hand, and the LED is pointed where you need the LED to be pointed at. So yeah, I have nothing to complain about. These are great, guys. And like I said, the noise is really negligible. So that's not going to bother my pooch at all. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope that helps you make a purchase decision on this particular item. Have a great day.
Quick review of this pet trimmer. It comes with the trimmer itself and just a standard type of a trimmer blade. And then it actually, what's really nice is it has a cord that's standardized. So you have the basic C that attaches to a USB, and the USB charging block is not included, but that's pretty regular. And then after you're done trimming, you clean. It doesn't include oil, so you will want to oil these blades just to, it reduces the friction on the blades and keeps them sharp longer. These blades are pretty easy to find as a replacement blade. You just screw them on, screw them off. And then to operate this, it doesn't have any variable speeds. It's pretty simple. So it's got a light, which makes it really easy when you're trimming paws. And it doesn't vibrate that much. So one of the things, I do a lot of trimming of hair as an esthetician, and so I'm really sensitive to a lot of vibrating tools. This doesn't vibrate very much. It's really easy to hold on to, and you can see it's super easy to then just trim hair. And then it tells me how much charge is left, which is really, really nice. So the charging time for this is 2 hours. It comes also with this little brush. This is kind of like a lice brush, but it's like for fleas. And so this is really actually handy to have if you don't have one. I think every pet owner should have that. has a really nice card. And then it has this pouch to store it in, and that's unusual. The instructions are really easy. It talks about the features and how to use this. And overall, I'm pretty happy with this mini pet trimmer.
This is the PAPMINI pet trimmer. This is for trimming around your dog's ears, eyes, and feet, or their tail end. And here it is. And you can hear it run. Not very loud at all. It's very lightweight. And it comes with a cleaning brush, a pouch to keep it in. It's charged with a USB-C cable, and it also comes with a nice metal brush and the instructions. And this dog is usually very skittish around, but notice he doesn't even mind. And also, I should point out, it has this nice light so you can see exactly what it is that you are clipping. Very happy with this. Great.